Hi, and welcome to my first live stream talking everything related to promotional marketing. I tell a lie a little bit. This is not my first live stream. This is my second because yesterday I tried this and there was no notification sent out, and I'm not quite sure that's worked again today. We'll work it out. Hey, it's all a bit of fun. So thank you for joining me. If you do happen to be watching this, if you're watching this on repeat, then that's fine as well. Obviously, just to tell you a bit about myself, my name is Neil Mandel, and I am the MD of Epic Activation. I gather we are live, so that is good. So hi everyone, and if you saw my video, my stream from yesterday, then this will be a bit similar because, as I said, a few technical issues. I'll throw a few extra nuggets of information in for you. But ultimately looking to run these streams regularly to help people in the promotional marketing sector. So a little bit about myself. My background's creative. I did sort of graphics at university, at school, and then got into this thing called the internet and web back in the late 90s. Makes me sound very old. I'm not feeling old, and I don't think I'm looking too old. But anyway, that's when I talk about my timeline, it actually goes back quite far. So I guess I'm just experienced, which is quite a good thing to be. So we developed websites early on, things like the NSPCC website, Atlantic 252, if that even exists now, I don't know, the Labour Party, they still exist. So we built lots of websites and got people into the sort of online world back then. Roll forward quite a few years, set up my own company and started running promotions. And actually the promotional side of it was about 15 years ago. So I have 15 years experience in the promotional marketing sector. So I'm keen to share that knowledge with you guys. Hopefully this will be interactive and people can comment. Looks like I've got my first comment. So the comments work today, which they didn't yesterday. So thank you for that. So that's great. So let's crack on. As I say, I know a thing or two about promotional marketing in the FMCG, which is fast moving consumer goods sector, type of promotions. They're classed as shopper marketing campaigns. So when you're in store, you basically create a campaign or an activity that adjusts the consumer's behavior. So it might think, oh, they want to try a product or buy a product when they're walking up and down the aisles. So that's sort of the world we're in. And in its basic form, a promotion is where on a pack of cereal or crisps or anything, it basically says that win prizes, come here, buy the product. The consumer then buys that product, and then either on their smartphone or back up on their laptop when they get home, they visit a website, enter their details and find out if they've won a prize. And then lo and behold, a few days later or whenever it is, they receive their prize. And the idea is that obviously they're very happy. They become brand ambassadors because they start sharing their prize wins on their social channels. And that's sort of the general principle. Obviously, it goes a lot further than just an on-pack promotion. I mean, you've got events, you've got pop-up events where they're giving away free new products. There's lots of aspects to promotional marketing. At Epic Activation, we actually specialize in the digital side, but there are so many other factors that we actually plug them all in under one roof. And I'll be talking about those over the coming few moments. So the whole point, obviously, as I said, is to engage consumers and grab the attention of new audiences, increase sales, brand awareness, and build a loyal customer base. That's the sort of services that we offer and what brands are obviously looking to achieve. But obviously objectives can be different. And it's depending on those objectives, depending on how a campaign should be structured. So the reason for this intrusion into your life is to help marketers understand the strategies behind campaign objectives, to get the best return on your investment, to share experiences of what works and what doesn't work. And having been around for so many years, we kind of know what works, and we're not afraid to share that experience with brands or project owners, stakeholders that sort of suggest plan X. When we don't think it's quite right, we're going to let them know, because there's no point us not sharing that kind of information that we've built up over a number of years. So the format of these live streams is pretty straightforward, and it's there to be flexible as well. So what we're going to do is have a topic of the week to start off with. Now, just to run down a few of the topics we plan to talk about to see if that's of interest to yourself. We're coming from the angle of the actual promotional campaign, a sort of website, but obviously it can expand out to other topics depending on what you feel is important to you. So, for example, we're going to talk about data capture. What data should be captured, what is too much, too little, and why that data should be captured. And that's linked into other areas of information that we can use to run the promotion, and such as, for example, things like unique codes. So unique codes on pack is huge and very effective, but cannot always be done for various reasons, and we'll talk about those. And therefore, you have to look at other ways to keep the promotion secure. So they're sort of intertwined. So we'll be talking about that in a later stream. Marketing questions, again, more data to capture. Very important, very relevant. Why not capture consumer information? Understand your customer when you're investing in a campaign. You don't want to bombard them, but a few questions are of use. So what I'm doing here actually is just sharing the kind of topics we're going to be talking about over the coming days and weeks. And this is really just an overview for you. We then go on to opt-in, how you can gain opt-in consumer information. Obviously with GDPR, it's very clear the main nugget for this section is that, and most of you will probably know this, that you can't ask someone to opt out, and if they don't, they are automatically in your database to receive information. What you have to do is make sure they opt in. So they've proactively got to do something to opt in, and that's now been around, what is it, a couple of years since GDPR came in. Before that, it was best practice, but now it's law. So there's a little nugget of information for that. And things like opt-in for a promotion, that may actually be your key objective. We actually had a campaign a couple of years ago for a cider company, and they had no consumer data. And they basically wanted that data. They wanted to understand who their audience was. So we ran a campaign with prizes, and they had 29,000 plays and 24,000 opt-ins. It was the biggest we had. 24,000 people that this brand could communicate with post this promotion. So it was a great success on that alone, and that doesn't involve any of the sales targets they set. So that was fantastic. We then have what I love, this section is actually the winning moments, instant win, and prize draws. So this is mechanics that we build in to give away prizes, and there's so many different options, and that depends on things like the prizes that are actually on offer, the budget that's available, the length of time of the campaign. And I will be sharing with you what the difference is between winning moments, instant win, and the benefits and disadvantages of things like prize draws. So that'll be a really exciting session, and hopefully that will educate and share that information with you when that is live. For those of you who know Epic Activation, we are huge on gamification. So we love to add games, little gameplays to a campaign. Whether it's a spin to win, whether it's a memory game, it could be a scratch card. It just adds a little bit of spice, a bit of surprise and delight, as I like to call it, to a campaign, and holds the consumer in for those few extra seconds. So it's a fantastic opportunity, and we'll be talking quite a bit about that. We then can talk about reward schemes or collector schemes, however you like to refer to it, basically collecting tokens to or codes or whatever it is to generally increase sales. That's usually the main idea, and then you can have rewards within that. So that's fantastic, and obviously we have it acts as a collector scheme. You have an account, and people maybe buy a few more purchases than they would have normally done within that month. So that increases the penetration, the sales from that point of view. We then obviously can talk about prize ratios and e-vouchers v physical gift cards, which is great. So e-vouchers, their benefits, obviously from a cost point of view, physical gifts, people do like to sometimes physically feel something. So that's quite nice as well. And again, you can mix it up. So there's lots of options to discuss. So there's so many topics that we're going to cover over the next few weeks. And once we've done that, we're going to have a Q&A session. So what you can do, and it's been proven already, thank you, Spencer, on LinkedIn. If you want to comment on this at any point, feel free to do so. If you want to ask a question, feel free to do so. And I will happily answer those, hopefully live. With lots of things going on, it might not be live. If you have a burning question you want to know the answer to, then you may email me. This is why I like playing with the technology. You can email me at the email below. There we go. God, this is working quite well. Couldn't get that right before. I'm trying to get that list of services and things we do. There we go. Email me on that, and on the next session, I will be happy to answer that. And obviously, if you need an answer urgently, let me know and we can talk offline about that. In fact, just jumping ahead, if there's anything you want to talk about, or you have any interest in promotions and want to know what works and what doesn't, you can book a free a discovery session at my website, epicactivation.co.uk/book-a-call. Please do that. That will go into my calendar and send you reminders and put us live instantly. Very easy, simple way to connect and have a chat. So that would be great. So as I said, the Q&A, that would be great. Feel free to ask questions as and when on LinkedIn Live, or we're actually on YouTube as well. I believe they will both feed into me, or ask questions in advance. So, and obviously, if this all goes well, it'll be fantastic I will be looking to get speakers, partners involved in these conversations. So it's not just me prattling on, boring you senseless. It'll be fantastic. I have, we work with partners to make the whole journey fluid. So from price sourcing to handling and fulfillment, warehouses that store gifts and prizes, where our systems sort of plug in directly so that all gifts get fulfilled, and things like legal partners for your terms and conditions that will be CAP code and ASA compliant. That's pretty important. So we sort of work with all those companies under one roof. So basically you get an end product without faffing with different silos, making it all run quite smoothly. So as I say, we work with legal partners handling and fulfillment, also work with fixed fee agencies. If you don't know about fixed fee, that's a fascinating whole world that I love to get involved with. And I'll be talking about that. It's basically maximizing getting big headlines of big prizes, capping the cost so you don't overspend when prizes are over, when a campaign is overplayed, not overplayed, but many more plays than you would expect. So that's a fascinating world. We're heavily involved with that, and we'll share some of that information, and maybe we have one of our partners for that work with us on here. So if you are a partner and you are seeing this and would like to brave the screen, then please feel free to email me and we can have a discussion about that. So people we work with brand owners, sometimes marketing departments within a company, a business, have 2 or 3 marketeers. Sometimes they work with agencies, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they've got an art department, sometimes they don't. So we are very flexible with how we work. So we work with brands directly to take their ideas, turn them into beautiful campaigns, run them, host them, everything else. And we also work with agencies. So account handlers, often they do the design work, and then we build the microsites for them. But generally, the purpose of this is to actually just share my knowledge. Got a lot of information, a lot of initial discussions, initial questions that people wish to have answered, which then often they disappear and then work on their concepts and what they want to do. So that's where I'm keen to help, advise, just get the ball rolling for you so you can go away and think about how you want to run your next promotion. And that's pretty much it for this. Feel free, as I said, to send in questions. I'm not expecting any, too many. I did get a couple last night, which I will go through if no one else has any questions. But also, if you want, there's some of you may know I created an e-guide, which is 15 to 20 pages of information talking about promotional marketing. And you can get that from my website. Just flicking on the technology here, and it's just on the website. And then at the bottom, you can download. That's a free download of information that we're going to be talking about over these next few weeks, which is proven to be quite good for some people. So that is great. And yeah, a couple of questions. Anyone got any questions? I guess not for now, so that's fine. A couple of questions that came in from, I'll keep him anonymous actually. He said, how many prizes should I consider for a campaign? And that was a really good question. It basically depends on so many factors. That's what most of these questions rely on, depending on the factors, the objectives of the campaign, the length of the campaign, the potential number of players, the budget available for that. And then I had another question, should I aim for bigger prizes or more smaller prizes? That was from the same person. It was sort of a conversation that we had. And again, it depends. So it's tricky. It's worthwhile. You can do it both ways. Personally, I don't like to have one big prize on its own. I think big prizes are great and pull in people, but I think you need to offer the chance for people to have smaller prizes so they feel there's a chance of winning, because people don't feel there's a chance of winning one really big £200,000 holiday home, for example. So you need to sort of mix it up a bit. And again, it depends on the budget and then what the prize value is. So there's a lot of toing and froing between the budget, working out what prizes are appropriate to your brand, which is key, which we can help with, and then working out, okay, so the prize is X. That means there might be 20 prizes a day over 3 months. Well, that sounds reasonable, rather than one or none. And that's obviously not if it's a pen. You don't want 20 pens is going to do nothing, and no one's going to share that on social media. So if it was 20, I don't know, Bluetooth speakers, then that's quite nice. So it's about chopping and changing to find that right sort of recipe to make a promotion successful. So thank you very much for sending those those questions last night. And as I said, you can keep asking me the questions live here, or at any point I can answer those questions. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm quite happy with how this is going. I hope you guys have liked this. So please do comment. If it's live, you can comment. Constructive criticism, always good. Afterwards, if you watch this, if you can feedback, it will always be good to know how it's going, how you see this. As I say, I've not really done streaming before. And I think the critical point is when we have specific topics, you can get into really great conversations and questions. And I'm sitting here with your comments up, and we can have those interactive discussions. So that would be fantastic. So if there are no more questions at the moment, that's fine. Last few seconds to get your questions in. We will probably call that a day. And I'm really grateful that you've hung around to watch. It's been great for me, and hopefully it'll be great for you. And as I said, I'm here to help and advise. So anything to do with promotional marketing, please let me know. Thanks very much again for watching, and I will see you hopefully very soon. Thanks a lot.